Well, howdy, 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 nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this. It is 7:06 a.m. on Monday, the 28th of May, and in my hand, I've got a little Charvy. It's little Charvy, the Charvinator. Hi, Charv. He is such a sweetheart. I really like little Charvy. The fur, I can't tell if it's growing back or not. My eyes are just, I can't focus. But he's still got the blank spot between his eyes. But he's a sweetheart. He doesn't want to face that direction. There must be some angle at my hand that makes it so that they don't like to face that way. Here we go, little guy. He's a sweetheart. I woke him up and dug him out of his nest, so he just wants to go back to bed. I'm going to put him back in his nest, though, so he can go back to sleep. Come on, little guy. Here we go. Into your nest, and then I'll cover you back up with your tissues. There we go. There. He has... It's just a pile of tissues that... Tissues make it so much easier for them to cover themselves up. You know, it's unlike the regular bedding, which, you know, falls apart easily, is the tissues make a nice lid. And so I just piled his tissues on top of him again, and he's moving around. The tissues are moving up and down as he gets comfortable again. But it's cool. I need to get like a hamster cam that I can put on the side there so that people can see my little hamsters. They're so cute. I just love hamsters. It's okay though. I'm hopefully going to be getting some other hamsters again soon. Either a rescue or a baby or something. I don't know. Because now I'm down to just the 3 that I have. And Boogle, actually, when she went pretty crazy the other day. You see all these bite marks on my hand there? That was from her. I put my hand down into the cage just so that she could come up and sniff it. Because that's what I do. Is with when I've got my hamster cages next to me, I'll just occasionally put my hand in there while they're doing stuff so that they can just come over, sniff it, crawl on it, and then walk away and do what they do. And it's just my smell, once again, showing that my smell is there and it's not dangerous and they don't have to worry. You know, because it's just there, walk, sniff, climb, no danger, and then they can just ignore it or do what they want. She came out and she just attacked my hand. She was chewing on it. And at first it was like, well, okay, that's not bad. But then this one, she was hanging off of my finger from her teeth. So I have no ideas what or why. She was savage. She's been savage. She's always been savage. I mean, I know why she was given up as rescue. So, yeah. But the hamsters are still fun and enjoyable. And I like Boogle. Even when she was attacking my hand, it was still funny and cute. So, I mean, it hurt and I bled. But life is life. They're tiny. European hamsters. There's this one video I saw of this guy who had a camera and so he was running with the camera, and the European hamsters are very aggressive. If you go near a hamster burrow, they'll actually come out and attack your ankle, and they're not much larger than regular hamsters. They kind of look like slightly larger chipmunks, kind of reddish colored. But it was leaping at the camera, and the guy had it on a thing, and it was just running and keeping it just in front of the hamster as he ran. But it was just chasing that camera. It was going to get that damn thing. It was going to kill it. So, I mean, they're cute, but they're aggressive. So, down at the bottom there, the build your software library. Come to the Microsoft Store. Yeah, I'd rather eat my own foot with a knife and fork than right off the end of my leg than buy something from the Microsoft Store. That's like I really want the game State of Decay 2, even though I know it's basically only State of Decay 1.5. But I'm not going to buy it for the PC off the Microsoft Store. Yuck. And basically my Xbox belongs to my housemate now. It's just downstairs in the living room, Because if he wakes up and it's not available, the first thing he says is, hey, can you bring the Xbox back down? Because he just immediately, when he wakes up, turns it on and starts playing PUBG or Fortnite. So, oh well, life is life. So I can't buy it for that. If it was for some other thing than the Xbox Store, the Microsoft Store, I'd buy it for PC. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But yeah, hamsters. I remember I was talking about hamsters. So hopefully, oh yeah, and you see, my two housemates have, well, now had 2 dwarf hamsters and the 3 guinea pigs. Well, one of their dwarf hamsters was they'd originally gotten 2 dwarfs, like two some odd years ago. 2.5 years ago. And about a year ago or so, one of the males died of old age and other horrible things happening. He kind of starved because his teeth started growing really weird. And so he died, unfortunately. But it was just the other day that the little hamster, little dwarf hamster, finally went. He was an old man, and he had a little tumor on his hip about this big. It was on the outside of the abdominal wall, so it was not a problem. He lived, and it was great, and not great, but he lived. And he finally died of old age, though, so it's kind of sad. They just don't live very long. In fact, there's Charvy. He's a-drinking again. He came out of his nest to start drinking. I think hamsters, being kind of desert/burrowing creatures, they must wait until they get really, really thirsty. Because they'll just suddenly attack their water bottles for just minutes. They'll just be drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking like camels. It's absolutely bizarre. And I don't know why they do it that way. I guess it's because they're the desert creatures. It was in 1930s. 1930s? Something like the 1930s or so. When they had taken some archaeological digs from Syria. And they discovered, as they were taking apart the soil, some rodents. And that from that family of rodents, that's where all of the hamsters in the United States have basically come from. Yes, there have been influxes from other things, so it's not just a straight, genetic inbreeding thing. But there is a lot of unfortunate inbreeding among hamsters. Life is life. That was something that I was thinking about the other day. And it was rather incredible. You see, with entropy in our universe, everything degrades downward. Everything is trying to go through a low rest state, just the lowest rest state possible. The difference is life. Life, excuse me, pollen. But with life, it just gets more and more biologically complex over time. And that's the opposite of entropy. And I was trying to figure out, well, why does life do this? Because in a closed system, well, you got to remember, closed system. We're not in a closed system. There is tons, just megatons of mass, water and rocks falling on our planet every single day from space. I mean, literally megatons of water and such from ice crystals and ice comets that just fall into our planet from space. And not only that, we have a huge power source just blaring out energy. The sun. We're not in a closed system. Good golly, Miss Molly. The sun is just blasting energy down on top of us. We're not in a closed system at all. There's just all sorts of outside stuff coming in. And that's why I can never get behind any movie at all that ever has people on our planet where we're out of energy. Because they'll show people suffering from energy loss. It's like, oh, we're all out of fossil fuels. There's no energy. It's so hot. And the sun's blaring down. And the sun is blaring down. Solar power is incredibly reliable and economic, and what is that other word? there's another word, but it's not, it's reliable. It's you get more out than you put in. You know, the amount of energy we get from the sun and the amount of energy that we can get by using solar panels is nearly limitless. If we were intelligent, we could have power for the entire planet. Every person on the planet would have it. Because when they say, oh, wind and solar isn't efficient, yeah, it is. You've got to actually put the infrastructure into it, though. And once you put your infrastructure into it, it's incredibly efficient and wonderful. And once you get away from fossil fuels, you're great. That's like, what was it? The Core was one of these movies where it's like, oh, we're out of energy. And then that latest Cloverfield, where there's like, you know, the main character, they're out of energy and she lost her 2 children on an energy thing. Solar panels, how could you be out of energy? And if you go, oh, because there's a cloud cover now because of this horrible thing. Well, guess what? We still got satellites. The sun is a limitless source of power. So, burf. That was good. I like that one. Burf. God's above. Luckily, I'm just rambling, of course. I just ramble during my morning vlogs because it's just bubble sorting my brain. One of the main reasons I've been staying on methadone right now is not for pain, but it's for my restless leg syndrome. But I've always been anemic, and so one of the things that I've been doing now is I've been taking iron tablets, at least 1 tablet daily, because I'm anemic. Oh, I banged into my mic. Oops. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. And so I've actually had far less restless leg syndrome, anything, since I started taking the iron. So I've been taking the iron daily. I've been making sure to take my ropinirole, and I've been periodically even taking less methadone. I can feel it. It hurts. I mean, I'm not getting much pain control off of 2.5 milligrams of methadone twice a day, but I am getting some. So when I cut myself down even more, yeah, I can feel it. But if I can get off methadone entirely, that would be good. Because opiates, of course, bad for your heart. But once you get off of opiates and such, if your body can work fine, even when it's had damage done to it. William S. Burroughs, who was a heroin addict for a huge portion of his life, he lived into his late 80s. And then there was a Gurkha in World War II who actually, in a battle where he killed, like, I don't know, 50, 60, 100 men, after a grenade and such had blown off one of his arms, he fought for like an 8, 12, 10 hours and killed like 50 or 60 men with one arm blown off, being shot and stabbed, and he still lived into his 80s and 90s. The human body is amazing. So, thumbs up. I mean, you never know. You never know what's going to happen. After all, there was this one person I read in The Modern Rogue, I believe it was, about this one person who managed to survive when their chute didn't open. Except, like, 100 feet above the ground, their reserve chute opened, which wasn't enough to keep them alive, and they slammed into the ground. And then the only thing that kept them alive is they actually landed on a fire ant nest. And so as they were laying there broken, they were being stung by the fire ants. And as it turns out, being stung by the fire ants was the only thing that kept them alive. Because all the damage done to their body, the poison from the stings kept their heart beating because it was so irritating to their heart that it just kept working anyway. And the poison irritated their other organs just enough that it kept them functioning until they were able to be rescued, airlifted, taken to the hospital, and they survived. If they hadn't been stung by fire ants, they would have died. Isn't that amazing? But now I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments on my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people. It is a range because I'm counting an ASL in the fingers of my hand, and even though it's right there in front of me, I still get lost. If I mispronounce your username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker. We're not good at much anymore, but I'll do my very, very best, so no disrespect is intended. And I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm going to read the comments. I'm going to answer as many as I can. Thumbs up each one I read afterward. But for right now, I'm just thanking you for having left a comment. Good comment, bad comment, and different comment. Thank you for having left a comment. It is appreciated. Oh, that pollen. Okay, there's Chrome. So we have Scuba Fire 4, thank you very, very much. And Dawak, greatly appreciated. Dr. Frank Castle, thank you very, very much. Breezy Mamba, thank you. Thomas S, thumbs up, and thank you very much. Sentry Orion, thank you. NXCKMXY, thank you very, very much. Kit Swanson, student, greatly appreciated. Eraser Rage, thank you very, very much. Mast Tent X, thank you. Francisco Contreras, thank you very, very much. JAMA, thank you very much. Molotov, greatly appreciated. Nadia Jasso, thank you very, very much. Tall Dude 123, good to see you in the comments. Thank you very, very much. Graciela Bonilla, thank you very, very much. Nika, thank you. Russell Williams, thank you very, very much. Huge Jacked Man, thank you very much. Ben Harton, greatly appreciated. J-Box, thank you very, very much. R-E-D, thank you. Brian Glenn, greatly appreciated. Gameplays Capivara, thank you very, very much. And last but not least, Triss, thank you very, very much. Each and every one of you, as stated, you get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people. Thank you very, very much. I am walking out of a large, deep, dark, and scary forest after the death of my wife. There are a lot of dark forests we walk into. There are a lot of dark forests we walk out of. I started walking into a dark forest when I injured my back and was put on disability. I'm still dealing with that dark forest. It's not as dark and scary as the forest that I walked into with my wife, but it's still a dark forest as well. So we all have our forests, we all have our darkness, we all have our demons to deal with. It's all part of being human. If you could check out my links, I've got Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, Google+. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron, that would be very cool. Like one of my Patreon.com patrons here. They are beautiful and awesome people. Thank you very, very much. It is because of you that I'm able to pay my rent here. It is appreciated very much. I don't want to be homeless. But if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I do take all good wishes. I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest, so thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get for my existence. Definitely a thumbs up. And if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be cool. I would understand if you don't want to, but if you are down with it, I will do my best to keep you entertained from now until, well, to the very day that I die anyway, when I plan to live stream from my deathbed. Thumbs up. Actually, that would probably be too macabre and morbid, so I probably won't do that, but you never know. You never know. To be honest, you never do. Thumbs up for that. Well, I'm trying hard not to just hack and cough all the pollen. Thumbs up. I've got hopefully a reaction video coming up. Hopefully a game video for this channel. Hopefully a game video for my game channel. Hopefully I'll still stay awake enough to live stream. I meant to yesterday, and then of course I fell asleep anyway. Gotta love that. So you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that, my friend, is a very good thing. So have a great day. Avoid the death bus. And, yeah,